if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not, this is a video continuation from the last video. So if you're new here, I would appreciate if you watch the first video. It will be useful to you, right? To watch the first video, then come to this video. This is a series on the ways and the areas to prepare in before getting married. Last video, we talked about the hard postures that might be hindering you from attracting or finding the right partner. And in today's video, we're talking about 5 areas you need to intentionally work on before getting married. You see, you might be a good person, and your spouse or who you intend to get married to might also be a good person. However, the same way there are some hard postures that might actually hinder you from attracting the right person, there are some things that if you don't work on, even when two good people come together, you won't intentionally maximize or enjoy the beauty that marriage was intended to be. One of my mentors said, you need to pursue the characters you need for marriage, like you're pursuing a PhD. You need to constantly learn when it comes to getting married or even in your marriage. The first on the list here is mental preparation. You need to be mentally prepared for marriage. Just like any important thing that you're about to embark on, you need to be mentally prepared before you go into marriage. What do I mean by mental preparation? This entails communication, negotiation, leadership, the art of apologizing, which is also under communication, right? Conflict resolution, right? Because marriage, you're not just the one in marriage. This is a two people thing. So you're constantly going to be communicating. Sometimes you have to negotiate. Yeah. And then there's leadership, right? You're going to be leading children. Conflict resolution. You're obviously not going to agree on everything. No, you're not going to agree on everything. In spite of the fact that you and your spouse should have the same principle, you shouldn't have parallel principles that never meet. No, you should have principles that go the same way. However, you're not going to agree on the same subject. One person might like the light off, one person likes the light on when sleeping. So, you understand? So, things like this, you need to learn how to communicate. You need to understand how men think, where they react from, where they act from, right? And I mean, if you're a guy, you need to also understand how women think, what they want. Don't just assume. So these are the mental preparations that you need to do before getting married. It also entails your character, because I mean, how you think is how you act, right? So this mental work entails your character too. So I recommend some books that you should intentionally read before getting married. I truly recommend them. I read them, and I know of other people who read them and recommended them. First on the list is How I Almost Ruined My Marriage by Pastor Eno Jerry. Yeah, Pastor Jerry is his wife. In that book, she talked about how her lack of patience, she was very angry, aggressive. It almost led her husband to divorcing her in the first few years of their marriage. And it was because of her temperament and how she was, right? The second book you should read is But How You Act the Way You Do. It talks about temperament and why people act the way they do. You could also read Spirit Control Temperament. You should also read The 5 Things I Wish I Knew Before Getting Married. It is such a good book. I didn't even read that book. I mean, when I was preparing for marriage, no, that was not part of the book I read when I was preparing for marriage. It was just a book I wanted to okay, out of curiosity, I read it, and it helped my communication, not just to people in relationship or marriage. No, it helped my communication generally. So it's going to help you in conflict resolution, communication, and so on. So these are a few books. Another book you need to add to the list is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This book is going to really teach you where men act and react from, and where women act and react from. Remember, then I bought 2 copies of this book. No, I asked my husband to buy 2 copies of this book before we got married, right? He was reading one and I was reading one, and sometimes we discuss it. And I mean, I remember him when we're cutting, after reading some chapters, and maybe we were on a call talking, he'll be like, this book. Now I understand why you do this thing. Like, now I understand why. An example is, he mentioned how, like, in the book, he talked about how most times women don't want you to fix everything. They don't want you to fix everything. Sometimes they just want to be listened to. Because I remember those days, I mean, sometimes I might tell him things like this happened today, this happened today, this happened today. And he'll be like, oh, okay. So next time, do it like this, next time. And when I'm like, bro, who asked you? Like, I don't want you to give me the solution to these things. I mean, I probably know what I should have done and what I should not have done, right? I just want to be listened to. right? I made a mistake and I really learned from my mistake immediately. But I currently just want to be listened to. I mean, as I tell you how my day went, I don't want you fixing and being on according to the book, right? Which I believe is true. Um, men's brain are always on like this work mode. And also sometimes it also flows into relationship, flows into the romance and all of that. So let's get right to the second point. The second area you need to work on before getting married is your spiritual mindset as regards marriage. Yeah. So you need to actually know, like I mentioned in the first video, you need to actually know the skeleton of marriage spiritually, and which is the commandment of God as regards marriage, what God intended and what He expects of you as regards marriage. So, in this particular area, one of the things I want to focus on is submission. Most of my audience are ladies, so I'm talking to the ladies. For men, it's love, but I'm talking to the ladies right now. So, you need to really understand what submission is. God said, man, love your wife like Christ loved the church. And He said, women, submit to your husband. So you need to understand what He meant by submitting to the husband. You need to have the right mindset as regards submission. Are you someone that can submit? Can you actually submit? If not, it's going to really, it's most likely not going to work. You might not really experience, understand, and enjoy the beauty in marriage. Yeah. Because I believe that God had a reason why He said women to submit to men. And why I say so is because there's just this thing, the same way women like feel so happy when they are gifted, when they are complimented, and all of that, like they feel so over the moon, right? Is the same way men feel when they are submitted to. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not even talking about this like as regards marriage personally, like my marriage personally, even in the workplace, your male friends. This you understand that men want to lead, they want to be leaders. So you need to understand the art of submission. Most people think that submission actually is Melissa, ah, my Lord and personal savior. That's not all there is to submission. Nah, that's not all there is to submission. There is such a thing as the science of submission. I really need to talk about that in another video, maybe. But like you, it's not about yes sir and no sir. Submission is actually a heart posture. It is a heart posture. It reflects in the way you talk to your spouse, to your husband. It reflects in the way you apologize. It reflects in the way you communicate displeasure. Yeah, submission reflects in those ways. So you just don't do things because you want to do things. And we women, we are emotional, right? We are wise. Sometimes we might just go for it. Let me just go for it. No. So you need to understand the art of submission, right? You need to also ask yourself, have you gone through the test of submission? There is such a thing as the test of submission. If you're submitted to someone, you can't really say for sure that you're truly submitted if you've not undergone the test of submission. So you don't need to get married to go through the test of submission. As a single lady, who are you submitted to? You've been tested. What do I mean by tested? Have you had situations where you're submitted to someone and they are doing something that is displeasing to you? Displeasing to you. When I mean displeasing to you, I don't mean like physical abuse and emotional abuse. No, like something that it's not going your way. Like you want this thing this way, but the person you're submitted to wants it the other way. And because you know what submission, you know that submission is required in this relationship, you go like you follow the way that your leader wants it to be, regardless of how you feel. That is one of the tests of submission. That test of submission actually includes you want to do something this way, you know this is the right way for this thing to go, and if it goes this other way, it might harm your team, and you're trying to look for a way to like communicate it, and this person is not just getting it, maybe for because of their temperament or for some other reasons they're not getting it. And if you really need to do this thing the right way, something that you need to, like it has a conviction out. Let me just give an example. The case of Abigail. So the husband spoke rudely to David after David helped him and his family. So and David came and David sent his servant to ask for meal and some things. And he was expecting that, we built a relationship, so this person should be able to give me these things. However, Abigail's husband refused, was rude. Now, Abigail, as a wife, she's one of the examples of like what submission looks like, right? The heart of submission. What did she do? The husband was drunk and passed out, and she went to meet David with the goods and everything. She went to meet David and spoke to David, spoke to his ego. That woman, she's one of the examples of like someone that really understands men, great men. She spoke to David from the point of, I mean, the things that matter to him, saying, "Oh, if you kill my household, blood will be on your hand. You're a great man. God is with you," and all of that. Spoke to him, right? Massaged his ego, not to an extreme extent. She did it right, like in a perfect way, and then she went back. And Bible recorded that she went back. She didn't immediately go and started like, oh, talking to her husband and be like, "You, this man." No, he was not even in the right mood at that time, and she left him. And the next morning, when he was in a better mood, she communicated to him what happened, right? So, like, you need to ask yourself, has there been times where my submission is tested, and what did I do? What could I have done better? Right? These are the ways you know, and you intentionally work on it. Like I mentioned, submission is not just an action. It's not just lying down, all of that. No, submission is actually a heart posture. Another point in this area of submission is honor. You need to be a woman of honor, right? You need to be a woman of honor. Honor is is a spiritual mystery as much as it's a physical and as much as it's a mystery in cosmos, right, in the world, right, on earth. It's also a spiritual mystery. And as a woman, you need to be a person of honor. You need to discern greatness, and you need to be able to honor greatness. You need to treat people right. You just need to discern and honor. Now, when it comes to discerning greatness and honoring greatness, I'm not talking about, oh, maybe celebrities and all. First, your spouse. You need to be able to discern who your spouse is, right? Like their potential. Yeah, husband needs to be able to discern their potential and honor them from a place of who they can be, not just who they are. Honor them from a place of who they can be, who they are going to be, not just from a place of who they are. Honor them from there. You know when to give gifts, you know when to sing praises to them. It also reflects, honor reflects in how you also express displeasure. So you need to be a woman of honor. You need to be a woman of honor. And not just to your spouse. You're getting married, families are getting intertwined. To your in-laws, you need to be a woman of honor. To them too. Because I mean, you love your husband, you care about him, you adore him and all. You need to honor the people that raised this person to be the man that you love so much. Right? So you need to be able to yeah, honor relationship, honor his relationships too, right? The people that mean a lot to him, to be able to honor it. And mind you, this you see submission, you see honor. It does not mean rolling on the floor. It's a hard posture, and it reflects. It just reflects. The third area you need to work on is the area of your emotions. I can't ring this one enough. And you know why? Because women, we women, we are emotional. We are emotional. You need to, and not every woman can max their emotion, like just cement it like most men do. That's not healthy for men too, right? But not every woman can like, oh, like overpass their emotion, like, hey, this thing affected them emotionally, and then they will just um do the right thing regardless of how they are feeling. Not every woman can do that. Most women can do that. So you need to intentionally understand your emotion, master your emotion, heal your emotion, know how to control your emotion. So you need to heal from traumas, you need to heal from rejection, from abuse. Like I mentioned in the last video, you need to heal from these things, right? Are you a very dramatic person? Are you always dramatic? You always want to be dramatic. You need to like really heal from these things. Whatever makes you always. I'm not saying you're going to be void of drama. I mean, there are times where you're obviously going to be dramatic, but not wearing drama like a garment, right? You need to heal from having this. Some women have this thing of like they want to control everything. They want to control everything. Maybe from a place of how you grew up and all. But you can't have two leaders. You can't have two, like one person must be the main leader. You can have an assistant, but one person must be the leader. So if you're still dealing with that thing of like you always want to be the one in charge, controlling things and all of that stuff. It's something you need to work on. It does not mean you should kill everything about you wanting to control things. It has the positive side of it, right? However, it can have the negative side of it. So you need to work on it. You need to know how to balance these things out. So you need to work on your emotions, the way you speak, the way you react when you're not pleased, when you're angry. You need to intentionally work on your emotions. If not, you're just going to be a time bomb waiting to explode. And the day you explode, you get. So avoiding emotions too is not wonderful. So you need to, if you're someone that always avoids talking about things, you feel emotional about the thing, and you just be like, forget it, forget it. You need to work on it because one day you won't be able to forget it, and you just explode, and it's going to cause lots of issue, right? So you need to work on these things. There's this book, healing your emotional self. Healing your emotional self is a good book to read. That How I Almost Ruined My Marriage by Pastor Enoje is a good book. Is a good book to read as regards emotions too. So yeah. The next area that you need to intentionally work on is your finances. You know, most women think, if I get married, I'll give birth and I'll just be a housewife and all of that. So they don't think it's it's something you should have to intentionally work on your finances. But it actually is something you should intentionally work on. Your husband might be providing everything for you. However, you need to have financial knowledge, the basic financial knowledge, how to make money, how to manage money, how to multiply money. You just need to have the knowledge of these things to help the person you're getting married to help your spouse. You need um to just make money for yourself, to keep yourself busy. You need to. Okay, you're getting married does not mean that you don't have bills to pay again. You still have family members that you're going to most likely want to send money to sometimes, want to support, and to honor. You don't honor with just words now. You honor with cash too, right? You honor with gifts. So you need your own money to do these things. You're not going to keep asking your spouse for money to honor him. No. So like you need to intentionally work on your finances. You need to be busy. You need to be a busy woman. Not be all over the place or busy for the sake of being busy. But you just need to be a busy woman. You need to be able to do things, keep yourself busy, right? This is very, very important. It's going to help you. So you're not always sitting around and waiting for your husband like your Lord and personal savior. No. Right. So you need to know how to make money, need to know how to manage money, you need to know how to multiply money to help your family, to help your family. You should descend seasons. Oh, this season we have lots of funds coming in from maybe your spouse or from you. And honey, we need to save, oh, we need to invest here, oh, and things like that. Should be able to discern opportunities. When you see this place, do you think we should start this business? Is there any way I can help in your business? You need to work on your finances as a lady personally. First, as a lady, you need to work on your finances. You shouldn't be sitting down idle doing nothing because it will make your choices in a partner will be limited. How will it be limited? Your one of the criteria is the person must have money enough to take care of two people. Like when I mean two people, like it's not even just two people. Take care of you and take care of your family members because you're obviously not taking care of them if you should, right? So you need to intentionally be a woman that has a business, be a woman that has things doing. So everyone will know that they will not just come to you like anybody will just come to you like, nah, nah, nah. So intentionally work on your finances, get a skill, get a job, start working. You must not wait to get married. Get a skill, get a job, start working, start doing something, be able to make money. Money is printed. Make sure you're able to give value to get money. What if in your marriage there's a time where you might just be the one needing to provide? I don't pray that for any woman, right? Because there's a way being the provider in the family affects your femininity. What if maybe there are seasons where you need to support? Yeah, you need to support. How is it going to be? So you need to intentionally work on your finances. Last point on the list is you need to work on your physical appearance as a woman. The first point was the area of your mental life, working on it. This last point is working on your physical appearance. The same way um, clean thoughts attract clean people is the same way clean look actually attracts clean people. Yeah. So as you're working on your mindset and making sure you have quality thoughts, you're grown mentally, you should also work on your physical appearance. Don't judge a book by the cover. Even you judge a book by the cover. So I don't know why you don't expect others to judge you by your cover. Make sure you're always tidy. Be a tidy woman. Yeah. Be a tidy woman. And not just how you look. Your home, as a single lady, how do you arrange your home? Like, how is your home? You need to be a tidy woman in your home. Make sure if you're someone that you don't mind dirty space, eating, keeping plate and all of that, make sure you work on it. Intentionally work on it. Intentionally work on it. Because like your atmosphere actually affects your thought, it affects the way you feel, and it just affects a lot of things, right? So intentionally work on these things. Be a woman that cleans herself up real good, that smells beautiful, that smells good. It's not even expensive. It's not expensive at all, right? Making sure if you want to keep making cornrows because you don't have money, make sure your cornrows are always neat. Your nails, if you're not fixing nails, make sure your nails, your natural nails are clean, sparkling clean. Make sure you keep your face, your body, you dress good, you wash up good, and all of that. As you do that in your body, do that in your home around you. And it's also reflecting your mind too, right? So intentionally work on your physical appearance. It is an important area you need to intentionally work on. Great people don't look mediocre. And mediocre does not mean because you're not wearing branded, you're not wearing Prada and Louis Vuitton, and nah, that's not it. Just how you look, like you can look simple and still classy. So learn the art of doing all these things. Yeah, as a lady, you should learn the art of like being able to make out a very nice look from simple things. You must not buy a new, you can go for okay clothes and then you keep them clean and you look very, very nice. Like, oh, that if a man sees you, like, and you see, these videos I'm showing, right, is mostly for marriage, right? Preparing for marriage. But it's not just for marriage. You should feel good about yourself first before talking about another person feeling good about you. Yeah. It's for you first before whomever is coming, right? Because how you feel is how you act and how you react and what you attract. So yeah, I hope you learned one or two from this video. I believe you learned. So please share with me in the comment section which of these points stood out for you. Yeah, and let's converse in the comment section. I truly appreciate the comments on the last video. Most people sent me personal messages telling me how the video was so helpful to them and what they learned. I truly appreciate that. And I will also appreciate if you can drop the comments on the YouTube channel too, please. So others will know that, hey, this video has value to it and they will go ahead, watch from the beginning right until the end. Till next time, till next time, till next time. Thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Share this video too. Yeah. Share this video to a young girl that you think needs to intentionally prepare herself um, for herself and for the right spouse and for the world at large. See you in the next video.